Welcome to Sherwood's Garlic Confit Spread channel. Today we're going to trim up a prime brisket, separate the point and the flat, and keep the brisket trimmings aside to make a burger blend and the beef fat to make beef tallow that I show you how to make in videos on my channel, so please check them out after this. Now, let's remember while we're here. We're going to smother these briskets with Sherwood's Arizona Barbecue Garlic Confit Spread and let them sit overnight to marinate in that garlicky goodness that I also show you how to make in another video. For my Arizona BBQ rub, I use a combination of 7 different types of pepper shown on the screen for your convenience, and no salt because there's enough salt in the Arizona BBQ Garlic Confit Spread that we slathered on these briskets, and it's also going to act as a binder for the 7 pepper rub that we made for these babies. Some people use mustard as a binder for their barbecue because they say it doesn't add any flavor. But when you use Sherwood's AZ BBQ Garlic Confit Spread as a binder, it takes the flavor to an unparalleled level. So I seared the brisket flat that's going to be cooked in the Dutch oven, deglazed the pan with beef broth, sauteed the mirepoix, added tomato paste, red wine, and a dried guajillo chile for a little punch of flavor, then threw it in the oven at 325 degrees Fahrenheit with the lid on for 3 hours. Now for the fun part, playing with fire. I used a chimney coal starter to get some red hot coals ready, dumped them on top of some mesquite lump charcoal inside the pit barrel cooker, and added some soaked mesquite wood chips on top to add some smoke. We're going to let this smoke for 2 hours and 15 minutes. While we wait for the pit barrel cooker to do its thing, I took the Dutch oven brisket out of the oven halfway through, then flipped it to make sure it cooks evenly. Then placed the lid back on and put it back in the oven to finish cooking. Once the brisket hit an internal temp of 170 degrees Fahrenheit, I pulled it and added a 1/4 cup of beef broth, a 1/4 cup of whiskey, then wrapped it in 3 layers of butcher paper. I tried wrapping in tin foil and it works, but I tend to get better results with butcher paper, so that's why I use it. I put the wrapped brisket back in the smoker for an additional 90 minutes until it hit an internal temp of 205. One of the most important things to remember with the smoked brisket is that you need to let it rest for at least 2 hours in an insulated cooler before serving to allow the remaining connective tissue to break down so you get that perfect pull-apart smoked brisket. Speaking of pull apart, look how tender and juicy this brisket is that we cooked in the Dutch oven. Oh man. Now time for the gravy. Make sure you strain that liquid gold juice and bring it to a boil, then add a tablespoon of cornstarch and cook for a few minutes to make this unforgettable gravy that should be drizzled over the brisket before serving. I have to say, this brisket was the best I've ever made in the Dutch oven. The flavor was out of this world. Oh wow. The smoked brisket also came out incredible. Look at the perfect bark, look at that jiggle. It's nice and moist with no burnt parts. Look at that smoke ring. Perfect color, bendable, super juicy, pulls right apart.
Taste test.
Oh my God. I honestly couldn't have hoped for a better result than this right here.